report in the cloud. Okay.
Are you ready, Lisa?
Sure.
All right. I'd like to welcome everyone to the January meeting of the Inland Watercourse Commission. Sitting to my left is an alternate because we have two people on regular who could not make it. They had other business. So Steve Ellis will be seen as a regular. I see no citizens here, so we'll just go right to the next one. Approval of the minutes. You guys go over them, read them, any additions, deletions?
Yeah, I'd like to point out a correction on page 3. In the third paragraph, it begins Chairman Neiman, and it's Mr. Rogan's expertise. That should say Mr. George Logan's. I think the R was. And Mr. Rogan picked up on that. Yeah, so get that on right.
I didn't even see that. Good catch. Anything else? If not, can I have a motion to accept the amended minutes? Have a second? Second. All in favor?
I'm sorry, Casetta and
Jerry Pavon.
thank you.
And right now, I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing.
Just for a comment to you before we get into discussion with any other public that's listening in one way or another. We have received 2 requests from 2 applicants, 2 out of the 4 that were scheduled to go to public hearing this evening. Application 20-12W, proposal by the Preserve SM LLC to construct a statement of residential development with associated improvements in regulated areas in Lot 1, Block 10, West Lane. The applicant is in your package and is in the file, has requested a delay in the opening of the public hearing due to a number of reasons, primarily weather related. The applicant wasn't comfortable with finishing, or didn't have time to finish the appropriate environmental review of the site. He felt it wouldn't be fair to open the hearing without having all the information together at this time. They are requesting that the opening of the hearing be continued until the February 2nd meeting of the commission, which is the first Tuesday of February. So we'll have no discussion on that if the commission feels that they will honor that request. The second public hearing that we received a request on is application 20-13WF, the proposal by David Olson to construct residential improvements within a floodplain, floodplain, wetland, upland review area on Lot 4, Block 115, number 155 Tollgate Road. You should recall this application began as a notice of violation several months ago. After continued discussions with the property owner, at this point in time, he has retained a number of the appropriate professionals to analyze the impacts of what has occurred on the property that were non-permitted. He spoke with his environmental consultant several times over the past several weeks. He informed me that they're still in the process of gathering the information that they feel is appropriate to present to the commission, offering mitigation and compensation for their impacts. And they are to delay the opening of that hearing until the February 2nd meeting of this commission. I just wanted to bring that up front in case we do have members of the public who are listening in or who are viewing via WebEx, so that they're not sitting there waiting and then nothing happens.
So should we make a motion before we?
I would do that, yes. I would make them one at a time. The first would be for application 21-12 to continue well, to postpone the opening of the hearing until the February 2nd meeting of the commission.
Can I have a motion in that, to that effect?
Make a motion to postpone application 2012W for the February 2nd.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
And just for the public's interest, that is the application of the proposed residential development off West Lane, that's part of the Shadow Meadow property and also adjacent to the Ragged Mountain Reserve.
And now I need a motion to continue for the next application. Can I have a motion?
That is application 20-13 WF.
To the February 2nd meeting of the February. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Who's, I can't tell you guys. I can't read your lips and I can't see.
Mike did the motion and Rick did the second.
Thank you. You could just go ahead and say White second.
Okay.
So I could,
So now we have two applications for public hearing. Can I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Mike makes the motion.
Mike has said it. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Savano.
thank
All
you.
in favor? Up next is application 20-07WF, proposal by 554 Burlington Brick Associates LLC, construction multifamily development and associated appurtenances within an upland review area with floodway and floodplain on lot 13, block 83, number 522, Berlin Turnpike.
Excuse me, could we just ask that the callers put themselves on mute? Because we're hearing all of the background noise, okay? So if you're still interested in being part of the meeting, if you wouldn't mind just. Thanks.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Bart Colbeck. I'm a Cold Sun. Representing the applicant in this matter. If you remember at the last meeting, we had received our second letter from the Rural Land Trust regarding items they requested as part of the plan. And we had the discussion subsequent to that regarding the preparation of a single plan showing the proposed improvements. A week before Christmas electronically, and getting hard copy a couple days later is shown here. And I think you have a copy of that plan. It's really an addendum to the original set of plans that we provided for the entire property. It deals with two specific wetland locations, F and H. Both of these fall right across the center right away. And as we discussed, activity with the CLP right away, somewhat restricted to what we can propose and do because CLP is going to kind of do whatever right side of the doing right. So anyway, what we've done is, first of all, we've outlined the major points in the wetlands, showing a placard type of the outside of the wetlands to identify those wetlands within the as being areas that are areas of concern. And then done proposed plantings. Now you'll notice on some of these areas, like wetlands F, for example, our clearing limit is shown, portions well away from the wetlands. So what we've done is we've kind of specified the plantings as we get along the wetlands. Come away from the wetlands. All we're really proposing is a fill-in openings in the gap so the tree line is not left open and clean. So as they work through the area, they can see where they may have taken a bigger shrub or bigger small tree out and they can put another planting in there. That's the same as we did for area H, but the activity within area H is a little more closer to the wetland, so there's more plantings immediately along the edge of the wetland. We've also shown plantings within the CLP right away. We have added notes to the plant list. Now, the second, that the seller can provide more with dwarf type species if they want within that area. Most of these plantings that we're showing, overall the 5, 6, 7 feet height. So if they want to go more with dwarf variety, they're allowed to do that within the right of way. That may limit the amount of time to do within the right of way. But we are also showing the placard type of post in that area, so the wetlands are gonna be fine. The plant list comes from our sheet on one that we previously provided, that George had provided for the wetlands mitigation along the river. So these are the same type of plantings. The only thing I've done is eliminated a couple, like, stroke 15, 16 feet. Those are that appropriate. Because most of this lower brush probably about 7 or 8 feet high at the highest. We've also added some notes, number one about organic fertilizers being used in the project. And another one important is my conversations with Jim after the meeting, we talked a little bit prohibiting vehicle washing, oil changes, and other types of maintenance vehicles within the project area. So that is on that. Would be added separately to the other segments. But this plan should satisfy all the concerns that were discussed at the meeting. If the single plan doesn't, it supersedes the other plans to a certain extent. That we didn't have really major landscaping plans, so this will be added to the final landscape. It's on paper. Hopefully. And just for a point of reference, this is in that same location at the, yes, we had southwest of the property.
Mr. Chairman, from the staff standpoint, I can acknowledge that Mr. Boulay and I have spoken about the application. If you recall at the last meeting, I had some concern that I wanted to see it on paper so that it's set in stone when the commission takes an action, if they take an action on the application. We've had several discussions and I'm satisfied.
Okay. Now, CMP, have you talked to them about this?
We haven't brought this plan still, we're kind of waiting to go into the site plan process before we bring them in.
Now, if CMP come back and says we don't like this, are they gonna have to come back to us?
CLMP or Eversource have the right to clear right of
Right,
ways
that's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
transmission lines, which we really have no control over. They're exempt from permitting per se on a local level.
Right.
We'll cross that bridge.
But you're not concerned about any of that. And I know this is what we were looking for the last meeting. I think everybody remembers this is what we were. Anybody have any questions, comments? If not, we can take action on this, right? Can we could close the public hearing?
Close the public hearing first.
Right.
And take an action.
Vote on it?
With regards to the use of any pesticides or herbicides on this area, because we have a well that this is adjacent to the well field, although it's not an active well field. How is that memorialized? Is this going to be a
There's a note on the plan and we add site plans. But it's only organic type plant fertilizer, organic or chemical fertilizer.
Okay, these could be condos or apartments?
So if there's no other comments or questions, then I guess, Lisa, should I ask if does anybody from the audience have any comments or questions about this project?
If you're on mute, you've got to
Oh, yeah.
shut your mute button off.
If not, I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the hearing 20-W7 WF.
Can I second?
White, second.
Now, I don't know if you guys want to vote on this. What's your, make a motion to accept, make a motion to approve it or whatever.
Yeah, to approve it. So
Then make a motion.
I make a motion to approve application 20-07 WF. The note that this is, I think, at least the third time this group has made a presentation, and we appreciate all the information. So I make a motion to approve that.
Now a second.
Here, second.
Any comments or questions, guys? Nothing? I'd like to have a vote. All in favor?
Thank you. On behalf of my client, thank you very much. And I appreciate that. The public and personally, the present this.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right, Bart, thank you. I can have another motion to open the public hearing for application 20-11 WF.
Make a motion. Application 20-11.
Second.
Wait, second.
All right. Next up is application 20-11 WF, hosted by the Berlin Water Control Commission to construct the Deming Road sanitary pump station within both an upland review area and a flood hazard zone on lot 3A, block 127 Deming Road.
Hi, James Rivers from DPC Engineering, presenting on behalf of the Berlin Water Control Commission, the application for the Devon Road pump station upgrades. We presented in November and needed a little more time to do some compensatory storage in the floodway. So the proposed project includes replacement of the existing pump station can with a valve wall and upgrades to the wet well with the submersible pumps and construction of an electrical control building at the existing site. In order to satisfy requirements to get the pump station above the 100-year floodplain elevation, we're proposing a net fill of 1,500 cubic yards. There's no work directly within the wetlands, but we are within the upland review area. A question came up at the last presentation, whether the impact of the floodways had been reviewed by a PE to ensure that there would be no changes to the hydraulic capacity of the floodway. Since then, the Water Control Commission voted to use the property located on Woodlawn for the compensatory storage. That is property owned by the town. It is at the same net elevation as the existing pump station and along the river upstream. So based on the elevations, the fact that the parcel is upstream, we were able to review it and see that there's been no net change to the floodway. The hydraulics should any flooding occur within the area. Aside from that, we feel good that the application satisfies the commission and meets the intent of the local regulations as far as permitting goes. So I seek any comment or questions from the commission.
How soon do you intend to start?
So we're bid ready. I think based on most recent conversations, we want to get that today.
We're actually trying to decide with that because we're working with NBC. This is a co-partnership issue. And the financing we haven't developed is definitely not prepared to do it as soon as possible. The zone they're subject to safety concerns because it's confined space. So they have to go down to a 50-foot area where they have to constantly repair and replace the pumps. So it's a problem issue for us.
I see the Water Control Commission is in favor of this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're buying our time.
Yeah, I understand. I know, Jim, you explained to us the safety concerns, which is really probably the utmost with this. Any comments or questions?
I think you said it, but I missed it. You mentioned 1,500 cubic yards of fill.
Yeah, net fill at the pump station site.
And, but you also said there's no direct impact on the wetland. So is the fill in the.
So the
review?
fill is in the upland review area within the wetlands.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And it's essentially within the same footprint of what's been filled previously. We're attempting to raise the elevation of the area,
This
the improvements to get it above the flood.
Yeah, so the actual delineation comes along, it's almost a little postage stamp right there. Along the edge, we're going to just be grading and fill at the existing site, not within the actual.
Okay, good. And how do you go about excavating the compensatory area?
So
Excuse me, it seems I can't hear anything that's coming from the room. It seems the presenter may be on mute. We could hear it for a while, and then during the Berlin Water Control Commission presentation, the audio cut out.
Bear with us, Ben.
All right, there we are. Now we can hear you again.
Sorry.
Good.
All right, so we need to schedule a public hearing for
Yes,
this.
staff is recommending a public hearing.
So can I have a motion on application 20-4WF to hold a public hearing?
Make a motion to schedule a public hearing for application 20-14WF.
Can I have a second?
I second, Mike.
Oh, who was the motion then?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. And now other business to come before the commission is application 20-06W, proposal by 833 Deming Road LLC and Berlin Remnant Land Parcels LLC to construct a multifamily development and associated appurtenances within an upland review area lot 11-1, 11-2, and 10, block 122 Deming Road. It's a request for a permit modification.
Ben, you want to talk?
Did you hear that, Ben?
Yes, I did hear that. Thank you very much. I'm just, my civil engineer is having some issues with his computer, but he should be joining us shortly, but I'll just leave this off. We'll keep it short and sweet. We are back here. We recently received here's Tom right now. So we recently received a wetlands approval for the same project as a result of some modifications that were required to the project in working with CHFA for financing on the project. Some of the building sizes needed to increase, and we were required to add a 12th building, which is not a residential building; it's a clubhouse or a common facility. As a result of these changes, however, there was no additional or no change to the work that was being performed or that will be performed in the upland review area. And there was no change to the stormwater determinations, as Tom Daly, our civil engineer, can attest to. So that's really it. Tom, I don't know if you want to just quickly chime in.
Yeah, for the record, Tom Daly. As Ben indicated, we remodeled all the hydraulics as associated with the small increase in impervious. There was no change in the amount of runoff and no modifications to the detention to be made. So as Ben indicated, the small increase in impervious coverage did not occur in the upland review area. Thank you.
They added a new building clubhouse.
Where?
On the site.
Oh, what's that?
Where they're trying to put it in. They redesigned the housing unit. They got to put in a clubhouse. Is what they were saying here.
Mr. Chairman, I can offer a comment from a staff standpoint. We have reviewed the changes to the development. Mr. Daly mentioned the proposed changes are what was minor increase in the surfaces. Not appear at this point to change the drainage calculations and/or requirements for additions or modifications to stormwater management system.
And is not affecting anything in any of the other reports.
Correct. And there were never any direct impacts to this project. The purpose of a permit modification, and I think you've heard me say this in the past, is that when this board takes an action, you approve a particular plan, the date, the scale, all the particulars of it. As they mentioned, the project required modifications to the footprint, which then again negates what you would approve. So you would just merely be, updating your approval to reflect the current setup.
Anybody have any comments for gentlemen on it? No? If not, can I have a motion to either approve or deny or?
Motion to approve application 20-06W.
Have a second? All in favor? Motion carried.
You're good, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, as far as correspondence, there were only, I think there was one notification in the package. I forget what agency it was. The Soil Conservation District. Some ongoing webinars, training sessions.
Yeah.
So you're more than welcome if anyone's interested. Contact us. We can register you. It's always a good thing.
I have just a question from a concerned citizen about talking about bridges. We have the bridge on Spruce Brook Road.
Yes, Spruce Brook Road. We're actually, if they haven't seen any activity there in the past day or two, we are performing some temporary measures to retain one of the embankments that is beginning to erode, and I'm going to say, I'm just picturing it, be along the southeast section of the structure, portion of the wing wall is starting to
Yeah,
fall over.
that's what I'm.
Yeah, it's on the list for a highway department. We're essentially trying to go in there with if you're familiar with the term gabions, which are large cages that are filled with large rock, to stabilize that wing wall, and or something like an interlocking mafia block.
Right.
We did, as I mentioned, I think we came in for a revision to not a revision, but a renewal of the permit.
Right.
A couple of meetings ago, we finally received our Army Corps permit.
Right, that's what it was.
For that structure. So now we're in the process of scheduling it, for funding with the town. We're talking about a couple $1 million project, so it's.
Well, as long as I'm asking too, is because the part I think that is falling in, this person wanted to know if that was the part that was gonna be saved from a historical standpoint. Oh, it's not, okay.
Now, what we're required to save would be, on the northern side of the structure, be the northwest corner, adjacent to Mr. Griswold's house.
Right. That's it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's gonna be a pretty neat project, if I can say it in that fashion, but, that portion, the northwest retaining wall was part of the original dam of the pistol factory.
Yes, the sign in
the
the.
1700s.
Yes.
So we're required, the area that we disturbed, we're required to save the stone.
Right.
And they're going to incorporate that into the facade of the remaining portion of the northerly side of that structure.
That's gonna be quite an undertaking. It's Sydney North was it?
Sydney North.
That's it.
So this reinforcement you were talking about is a temporary, until you get the whole project local.
Correct. If we get some erosion occurring around.
Yeah, if you go over there, you would see it.
If you do go over and you take a look, at the actual opening itself, we get calls occasionally from folks say, well, part of the steel beams are rotted, they're coming in. And we know that, but above that is a concrete slab that was placed there probably in the early 1970s to shore up the structure. So you see rusted steel, structure's not perfect. There's a substantial slab above.
Yeah, it's more the embankments that are caving or falling down, whatever you want.
So we'll be cutting a few trees down too.
Okay. Glad to hear that.
Haven't called.
Yeah. If there's nothing else, I have a motion to close the meeting.
Making the motion to close tonight's, wetlands meeting.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
7:36.
Thank you for showing up, Steve. I don't know if anybody here, I don't know, Rick, I've been here, I don't know if you guys are involved with reappointment, right? You guys are still.
I'm here for another one.
Okay. Yeah. I know it, Mike and I, and I think John are up for reappointment. I'm not sure if John's gonna get rid, he wants to. I stand in there.
Still think what I got left.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody heard,